Drake's lawsuit has been a disaster. This new information just destroyed his career. Title reads. That's a video I got coming in from Spotlight. Go over there and make sure you check out the content. But there's so much things going on around Drake. Drake has been getting the worst kind of attention lately, but here we are. Now, how do the Drake fans feel about this lawsuit he's against? Do you guys think everyone's against him, or do you truly believe that you should sue for getting in a rap battle and losing? I mean, that's what we're really talking about.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien and Universal.
Wow.
We remember that interview. Ooh, we're gonna start off hot, huh? Lucien got Drake got a rich baby daddy. Okay, let's get it. I'm sorry.
Oh.
He's like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. My daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. Drake has a rich baby daddy.
It's funny because we all know that person that comes and hangs out with you and they got everything and they got to tell you they got everything. And you was like, and you just be like, dude, just be quiet for a second. So I know what he's talking about. It's funny the way he's saying it. My daddy got it. My daddy got it.
Daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy. Drake has a rich baby daddy.
All makes sense. The lawsuit is why so many rappers basically took back what they said about Drake. UMG has been monopolizing the music industry. In fact, they either own or have a joint share.
I was listening to another podcast the other day, and some of these people were saying even in Toronto, there were a lot of rappers where things, they had confrontations or situations, and they were removed from situations after that, whether they had a project, then it flopped, and, different things happened just because they ran across Drake in a way that he didn't like. But yeah, there's some fishy stuff going on out here.
In pretty much all the major labels across America. If Drake were to win this lawsuit, the money that will be going to fund some of these labels will be going to Drake.
The backstage battle between
Give it up for Jalopy Bungus over there. That would be insane. Do y'all really think he has a good chance of winning this case?
Kendrick Lamar and Drake is reaching a boiling point. It's becoming crystal clear. Everything Drake is doing with this lawsuit boils down to one thing: revenge Kendrick after performing Not Like Us on the biggest stage in the world.
Drake is making big changes to his lawsuit against Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. But why? He claims UMG secretly pushed the track to damage his reputation.
He's trying to sue everyone. He's trying to sue everyone but Kendrick. Well, why is he not trying to sue Kendrick?
While profiting off the drama. The song accused Drake of serious crimes, and he says it led to real-life threats, including a shooting at his home. UMG is now trying to get the case thrown out, but Drake is revising his claims, so this isn't over yet. Is this just industry politics or something bigger?
Insider sources reveal that Drake is panicking as the song performed at a stadium of over 100,000 people, with millions more watching at home. And honestly, seeing the entire world celebrate the track that shook up your career, that's a nightmare no artist wants to face. But at this point, Drake has to face the reality of how things got here. Drake's ongoing battles against his label, his critics, and even the culture itself prove one thing: he's stretched way too thin.
Hey Joe, why is Drake suing Kendrick Lamar? Dramatic.
Could y'all imagine if he win this case and then they remove Not Like Us from everything we know about it, and then they Mandela effect us, and then it was like the years from now when nobody even remember the song existed because they just say, oh, it wasn't real or something.
Thin.
Hey Joe, why is Drake suing Kendrick Lamar?
Dramatic irony number one. Actually, Drake is not suing Kendrick Lamar. He is suing his.
He's not.
label, UMG, his distributing label, which actually happens to be Kendrick Lamar's distributing label as
Yeah.
well. So he's suing them for defamation, which is interesting because some may sue someone that makes a statement.
I keep stopping it because I don't like the fact that they're playing that music in the back with the copyright and everything.
He's suing a label that he believes is publishing statements that Kendrick said about him.
And that's the thing. He still haven't added Kendrick to the lawsuit.
And about him.
Trying to fight on multiple fronts isn't the kind of move you'd expect from a veteran in the game, but somehow, here we are. Some of his most loyal fans believe this lawsuit would be a power move, one that would put him back on top. But instead, it's done the opposite. The headlines aren't shifting in.
How could his true fans be okay with this? Do they understand what a battle rap is? How could any one of his fans be okay with him suing for defamation in a rap battle that you started? Come on, really?
In his favor, and his influence seems to be slipping further by the day. And now, Universal Music Group isn't backing down. In a shocking move, UMG has fired back with a massive 144-page countersuit against Drake's original 81-page filing. That's right, they didn't just respond, they came swinging. This is no longer just...
It's like anything you can do, I can do bigger. 8100 and man, that's they fighting with litigation right there. That's what that is.
The legal battle. It's a
definitely not hip-hop stuff.
Full-scale war.
Stay scheming, Drake says. Tell Lucian I said I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Tell Lucian I said I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Did Drake call you up after that and say, hey, I need more money for my project?
If ever Drake or whenever Drake calls up and says he needs more money for his project, I give it to him.
That was a long time ago. It's crazy how things have changed, but we don't know that for sure though. A lot of this all speculation. You know, we don't know for sure what their true relationship is, even if they got label negotiation problems going on right now. You know, when you're negotiating, that's when the dirty everything comes out. Boom, 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 boom. And then once you sign that contract, you get what you want. You forgot every nasty thing they said about you because, shit, I got my 600 mil. That's all that matters to me. So y'all could, you know, once that happened, you piece it up. So we still don't know how this is going to play out. I still think it ends with Drake dropping all this stuff, you know, because you can see this party album's taking a bruise because he ain't getting no help from the labels. You could see that.
When you dive into the details, you'll be shocked at how far this situation has spiraled. UMG's aggressive response wasn't just unexpected, it was unprecedented. This isn't just about business anymore. It's personal. Filing this lawsuit may have been the final straw, and any chance of Drake mending ties with the label completely destroyed. What started as an attempt to silence Kendrick may end up being the single most damaging decision of Drake's career. The situation is now bigger than anyone could have imagined. When Drake first filed the lawsuit months ago, most assumed it was just a desperate reaction to the nonstop trolling. But when it became clear that he was serious and that he was really trying to take a rap battle to the courtroom, the culture started looking at him differently. No one saw this coming. The fact that Drake took it this far proves just how disconnected he is from the culture that built him.
It cuts Drake's.
That's what everybody's saying. At this point, it has nothing to do with who's better. Like, if Kendrick did this stuff, we'll be looking at it the same way. Like, nah, bro, you got into a rap battle and lost. If Pusha did it, it would be the same thing. It's not like people are choosing sides because this is precedented. It's never been done. It's not ever supposed to be done. Like you basically about you the person that comes over to the house and all of a sudden wants to change the game to fit you when we invite you to play. Dude, go play in the role. Go play in traffic.
So it's like he signed his.
Yeah, I don't go do that. Not my good fans. You guys just like the video if you're still here, share the video, but don't go play in traffic. Stay on the sidewalk. If you're a lady, put his ass on the outside. All right.
Soul to the devil to not be cool with me, to have to this is his job to go against God. And it cuts his soul.
This is his job to go against God. Another one calling himself God.
And it's no surprise,
Yeezys.
So many people are calling this move anti-hip hop because let's be real, it is. A lot of fans are asking, why didn't Drake just sue Kendrick directly? After all, this whole case revolves around Not Like Us. Well, that wasn't a mistake.
Exactly. See this picture right here? That's Kanye's is that his wife? Are they married? Girlfriend, whatever, on the carpet. And that's when she took all her stuff off. My man got it nice and perfect, you know what I'm saying? You go home and mom be like, come here, boy. What you was doing? Nothing. Hey, made his day.
It was calculated. Drake's real goal wasn't just to go after Kendrick. He wanted a face-to-face with the real power players, the top executives at UMG.
It's funny, they both their face are covered up. It's crazy what y'all look at. So some things that I wouldn't say what y'all look at, but when they consider to be art in this time, you know, what they're expressing something. They're expressing something.
He thought forcing a legal battle would put pressure on the label and make them listen. But instead of folding, UMG hit back hard. Their massive 140-plus page counterclaim is their way of proving two things. They're confident they'll win, and they're determined to make Drake lose publicly. If you haven't been keeping up, trust us.
And that's what they always do. The public perception is what's going to get you. And once Drake loses the public, he's going to lose everything else, because he's the type of person that's tapped into the media. And if the media is not on his side and his Instagram isn't popping and stuff like that, it changes the way he's going to spiral. He changes his mood and everything else. So, yeah, I believe that.
The details in UMG's legal response are insane. They're not just arguing against Drake's claims, they're dismantling his entire case. They've labeled him a sore loser and laid out a case that paints his lawsuit as nothing but fabricated lies. UMG is flat out accusing him of twisting the truth to make himself look like a victim, when in reality, he was the one who started this entire mess. And honestly, they have a point. It was Drake who set off the chain of events that led to his own downfall.
All makes sense. The lawsuit is why so many rappers basically took back what they said about Drake. UMG has been monopolizing the music industry. In fact, they either own or have a joint share in pretty much all the major labels across America. If Drake were to win this lawsuit, the money that will be going to fund some of these labels will be going to Drake.
But what's even wilder is that he's now using the legal system to save face, even if it means throwing the very label that made him under the bus. He's asking the world to buy into a lie. But here's the problem. He's no longer in a position where people believe everything he says. And yet that's exactly what this lawsuit is, an attempt to rewrite history, filing a defamation case in Texas. That was supposed to be his secret weapon.
Who rewrites history? Colonizers rewrite history. That's what they do.
His way of tipping the scales in his favor. But guess what? UMG saw it coming. Their legal team has reportedly found a loophole in the Texas Citizens Participation Act, and they're about to flip Drake's own strategy against him.
Drake is making big changes to his lawsuit against Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. But why? He claims UMG secretly pushed the track to damage his reputation while profiting off the drama. The song accused Drake of serious crimes, and he says it led to real-life threats, including a shooting at his home. UMG is now trying to get the case thrown out, but Drake is revising his claims, so this isn't over yet. Is this just industry politics or something bigger?
What Drake thought was a power move might just be the biggest mistake of his career. And with every new legal filing, it's becoming more obvious. He didn't expect Kendrick to obliterate him the way he did. Now he's left trying to convince a judge that he's just...
You know, I still wonder when it came to that beef, I wonder how much time did he actually put into what he gave us? You know, he was surprised he lost, but I just don't feel like he gave it all. He just put some crap together and just thought that he could demolish this dude on beats.
Obliterate him the way he did. Now he's left trying to convince a judge that he's just a humble family man, unfairly attacked by a rap song. But let's be honest, this isn't just damage control. This is desperation. Drake thought filing this lawsuit in friendly territory would give him an edge, but it's turning into one of his worst miscalculations yet. Now, UMG is offering him one final chance. Drop the lawsuit voluntarily, or they'll slap him with a brutal counterclaim, one that argues he violated the exact law he's using to sue them. And let's be real, Drake's legal team never saw this move coming. Their silence louder than ever. Sources say they're scrambling behind the scenes, trying to find any angle to counter UMG's airtight arguments. But here's the problem. When UMG said they were ready for war, they meant it. Their legal strategy has been relentless, and it's clear they've anticipated every move Drake could make. And yet, Drake still hasn't backed down. He's
just like Kendrick said, Drake's moves are all calculated. They know his moves.
Clinging to the victim narrative, even as UMG rips apart his claims one by one. At this point, anyone expecting anything other than a UMG victory is either in denial or completely out of the loop. Drake thought filing in Texas would give him an upper hand, but what he didn't realize, UMG was more than ready. They've now submitted mountains of documents designed to dismantle his entire case. Insiders say these filings contain damning evidence enough to completely shift the tide in UMG's favor. If these claims hold up in court, this could be the final nail in Drake's lawsuit. And then there's the way UMG is portraying Drake in their filings. It's brutal. They're arguing that if this lawsuit succeeds, it could set a dangerous precedent in the music industry. Why? Because according to UMG, Drake isn't just trying to defend his name, he's actively trying to silence artists from responding to him at all. Drake has never had a problem.
What? He's trying to block artists from responding to him at all. So he's kind of trying to get what happened with Pusha, where he got a lot of stuff scrubbed and taken down. You know what? Do your thing. Do your thing, Drizzy.
UMG, Drake isn't just trying to defend his name, he's actively trying to silence artists from responding to him at all. Drake has never had a problem taking brutal shots at other artists in his own music, but the moment someone fires back and gives him a taste of his own medicine, he runs to the courtroom, and UMG isn't stopping there. They've also highlighted just how weak his claim is when it comes to Not Like Us. Drake's lawsuit suggests UMG manipulated the song's success to damage his reputation, but there's one major problem. He has zero proof, and if he can't prove it, UMG is demanding an immediate dismissal. And honestly, would anyone be surprised? How is Drake supposed to argue that Not Like Us wasn't an organic hit? That song took over the entire internet.
Sure did.
The Not Like Us wave was as real.
It's still over the internet. It's literally still 1 and 2 on the charts as we speak. And it's been out, what, 10 months now? It's coming up in a year.
Real as it gets. And yet Drake seems to be the only one in denial. And UMG's legal team, they're not letting up. They're pushing the narrative that Drake is just a sore loser who couldn't handle losing the very battle he started. And let's be honest, that's exactly what happened. If Drake really believes Not Like Us hurt him the way he claims, then what does that say about the shots he fired at Kendrick on Family Matters and his other diss tracks? Would it have been fair game if Kendrick had filed a lawsuit too? The fact that Drake refuses to accept Not Like Us as an organic hit says everything about where his mindset is right now. Fans and industry insiders loved how UMG exposed Drake's hypocrisy. They reminded him his own songs have effortlessly hit 1 billion streams within months, just like Not Like Us did. Funny how he never accused the label of artificially boosting his numbers back then. But the moment another artist sees the same level of success, suddenly Drake is running to the courtroom with lawsuits and accusations. It's obvious UMG is making an example out of him. They're hitting him from every angle, not just branding him as a hypocrite, but as a sore loser who can't come to terms with the fact that he lost one of the most talked about rap battles in history. And the wildest part, the entire industry seems to be siding with UMG.
For real.
It's rare to see a record label get this much public support when they're going against an artist. And
that should tell y'all how the type of person that Drake is. He's gone around creating so much enemies instead of, uplifting people. It seemed like he's a really, I don't want Drizzy to come after me, but why doesn't he have any friends in the industry where you work? You go to work and you've been there. We talking about 15 years now, and nobody don't like you. Nobody want to hang out with you. Nobody wants you to come to the office. They'd rather you work from home. Why K-Dot ain't getting the same treatment? And K-Dot don't like the industry. All he talks about effing the industry. That's all he talks about. But yet they love him to death. You must be a real horrible person, for real, dude.
Forget, artists almost never win lawsuits against labels, even when they have a strong case. Now imagine Drake, who isn't even close to being in the right. What chance does he really have? The same label that once funded his ability to control narratives is now using those resources to brand him as a manipulative liar. Talk about tables turning. Drake's decision to file this lawsuit is looking more reckless by the day. He probably thought he could outsmart the system and come out on top. But right now, he's left with only two choices: withdraw the lawsuit and face the embarrassment that comes with it, or pray he has a game-changing legal move that UMG didn't see coming. Let's be real. This lawsuit feels like Drake's last desperate attempt to salvage the situation. And if UMG destroys him the way they plan to, it could deliver a massive hit to his legacy. He needs to be careful. Bad PR from a label as powerful as UMG can be devastating, even for an artist at his level. One thing is for sure, Drake can't underestimate a machine as big as UMG. They built his career, and if they want to,
and that's what Cat Williams said. If they make you, they can break you. They build you up, they will break you down. And that's what the machine does. And he heavily depends on the machine.
They could tear
even in that new Some Shitty Songs for You, you can hear that UMG took away the Drake auto-tune. It's like his voice got flat. There's no more. They got rid of that what they call it. They're not allowing that auto-tune anymore. It's like they took it away. They took it away from him.
Tear it down just as easily. The fact that UMG's legal team hit back with a freedom of expression defense under the Texas Citizens Participation Act shows just how intense this battle is getting. Drake has never faced a crisis this dangerous in his career, and if he doesn't slow down and realize the true consequences of making an enemy out of UMG, he could end up burning a bridge that he'll never be able to rebuild, with the pressure mounting and UMG tightening its grip.
I think the bridge has already been burnt. I think it's already been burnt.
The biggest question now is,
I think he's just trying to get out of the UMG contract, if you ask me. That's the smartest thing to do. At this point, I mean, he's going to catch hell if UMG drops him. I mean, there's two other labels he can go to, or he can go independent. Maybe that's what, if he can afford to push this party album and get some spins and make back some money, maybe all right. Maybe he's doing this party album to test, to see what it's like to be an independent. I mean, yeah, they're still on the UMG now, and I forgot what the other label is. There's like two labels I'm thinking for. But if they can try to seek success and push it, it could be them looking into the future and say, you know what? if I go independent, I still got my fans. I can still survive.
What?
But I'm sure UMG would rather you sit on the bench and ride.
What's Drake's next move? Does he double down and risk everything? Or does he finally realize that this battle is one he can't?
At this point, should he back out or you see it through? Because I don't see this case starting soon. I mean, they're going to find ways to drag it out. That's what these big companies do. They keep you until you run out of money. And they keep doing it and keep doing it and doing it. Well, we'll see.
Can't win. Insiders suggest that Drake's legal team is frantically looking for a way to turn the tide. Some sources claim they might shift strategies, arguing that UMG's response is an attempt to silence him as an artist. Others believe Drake may try to settle quietly before this lawsuit spirals completely out of control. But here's the problem. There may be no way out. If Drake backs down now, he doesn't just lose the case, he loses respect. A public retreat would solidify what critics have been saying for months, that he was never built for this kind of fight. And if he pushes forward, he risks facing legal consequences that could do permanent damage to his career. And let's not forget, the public narrative is already shifting against him. This isn't just about UMG anymore. Industry veterans, media figures, and even some of his own former allies are starting to question his judgment. People who once backed him are now calling this lawsuit a mistake of epic proportions. The irony, Drake spent years crafting an image of himself as a master strategist, someone always in control of the game, but now he's playing defense and badly. The culture isn't standing behind him, the industry is turning on him, and his biggest opponent, UMG, is making sure he has nowhere to run. If this lawsuit doesn't go his way, and let's be honest, the odds are stacked against him, Drake won't just lose a court battle. He could lose the very credibility that made him one of the most dominant artists in the game. And in hip-hop, once respect is gone, you don't get it back. This is not the position Drake wanted to be in, and if he's not careful, things could spiral completely out of control. Losing a rap battle, that's one thing, but losing the respect of the culture, that's next level damage. He could have taken the L, regrouped, and come back stronger. Instead, he's risking becoming the rapper who ran to the courts because he couldn't handle the loss. Unfortunately for Drake, this is his reality now. And let's be real, it's not looking good. As this lawsuit drags on, UMG is only going to turn up the heat. At some point, the actual lawsuit won't even matter anymore. The only thing people will remember is Drake as the villain. And if he loses after all this, that could be the final nail in the coffin for his credibility. But here's the thing. You have to give him credit for one thing, his persistence. It's clear he's determined to see this through, but let's be honest. Does he even have a chance? Right now, the odds are stacked against him. And while Drake has been known to pull off surprises this time, it's looking highly unlikely. It's also becoming obvious that Drake either doesn't care about the narrative shifting against him or is doing a really good job pretending not to. Either way, staying on this path, it's a lose-lose situation. He's already taken major hits, but whether he realizes it or not, there's still more at stake. Drake has far more to lose than anyone else involved in this fight, and if he doesn't wake up to that fact soon, he might be gambling with the one thing that no artist can afford to lose, his legacy. One thing's for sure, Drake isn't backing down without a fight. No matter how bad things get, he's proven time and time again that he's relentless. But let's be real, 2025 is not starting off in his favor. And if things keep heading in this direction, the months ahead could be even worse. While Drake is stuck battling his own label in court over a case he's unlikely to win, his rivals are gearing up for what could be their strongest year yet. At one point, fans thought there was still a chance for him and UMG to reconcile, but now that feels completely out of the question. UMG isn't just responding to Drake's lawsuit. They're going all in. Their aggressive legal approach makes one thing crystal clear. They're fully committed to this battle and ready to use every resource at their disposal to take him down. That's not the behavior of a label looking to make peace. So
I didn't want to stop too much there at the end. This was already getting to be a long video, so I wanted to keep my commentary towards the end. But it's crazy to me that how Drake has been in the industry this long, and he doesn't have anybody to vouch for him. There's no one that likes him that he's working with. Like, that's a problem, and I think a lot of his issues stem from that. Why can't he have relationships with people that's good? Why is everyone turning on him? Why is he screwing people over? He's been allegedly accused of a lot of different things, even with this last album, possibly stealing the cover ideas, a couple of songs allegedly, it's just crazy. Things like that I kind of think about. This lawsuit, I don't see him winning the suit. I know crazier things have happened, but UMG is gonna, WAC 100 talked about this about a couple of weeks back, and he spoke about the closer we get to the UMG case, things are gonna start coming out that's gonna destroy, things with Drake. So let's see what happens. I know he talked about having that gig with the stuff and, all kinds of hula, whatever. But if you're still here, like and subscribe. I appreciate you. Support the channel. Hit the like button. Hit the Cash App. Let me know your comments down below. Peapod Cove. I'll see y'all in the next one.